how to make sure you show up in LLM search results, how to check which Shopify sellers are selling the most, a crazy strategy that black hat sellers are using to attack your buy box. These strategies and more on today's special episode. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the AMPM podcast. My name is Bradley Sutton, and I'll be your host. And this is the show where we discuss all things Amazon, TikTok Shop, and Walmart private label, and how to generate recurring revenue streams 24 hours a day during the AM and the PM, hence the name of the show. Get it? AM, PM podcast. And as a matter of fact, as you guys are watching this, I'm probably going to be on my vacation to 3 new countries I've never been to: Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, and Kyrgyzstan. Even though I won't be working on my Amazon accounts while I'm there, I'll still be making money. How cool is that? Pretty cool, I think. All right, guys, what are we here today to talk about? We are here to talk about strategies that, top sellers don't talk, too much about. We're going to have some things today like a secret ranking fix. You ever had problems with ranking? You ever wonder how your competitors are launching with so many reviews? We're going to show you some secrets about what some of these sellers are doing so you can be prepared, and potentially you might want to report some of them, what's going on. A lot of this stuff, guys, these are things that people don't talk about too much. I just mentioned Serious Sellers Podcast. We don't talk about these advanced strategies too much on the Serious Sellers Podcast because they're not applicable, to everybody. We're going to talk about some crazy AI image generation strategies. All right. Do you want to show up in LLMs or be indexed by AI? Have your product show up in things like ChatGPT, et cetera? We're going to talk about that. That's the future, guys, of e-commerce. More and more people are going to start their, product research on those kind of platforms, and a lot more. A lot of this stuff is our results. Leo is an 8, has sold over 8 figures on Amazon. I've sold over 7 figures on Amazon. These are what we have tried and true tested methods. But everybody's account is different. But one thing we can guarantee is if you don't try to implement these things, all right, or take no action, nothing's going to happen. You're not going to be benefited at all. So I need you to commit to actually putting some of this stuff in action. So guys, you ready to just have your mind blown with some of these strategies? I'm actually just going to go ahead and let you take it away.
Awesome. So without further ado, let's jump into the strategy number 1 for today. How to fix your tanked rankings due to a wrong product categorization. So what I've seen in the past year is that Amazon updated the browse tree, and a lot of sellers noticed a drop in rankings. Usually that if you use tool like extensions like Helium 10 or Keepa, you see something like this, where all of a sudden your ranking in a specific category drops. It disappears. Then it comes back again, and then it disappears. And you can see over here, like, for example, this product is being classified in different browse nodes, right? Which is not good for your rankings, because what happens every time that an ASIN goes from one category or one browse node or a node ID to another one, you lose all the historical data that is related to that specific ranking and position that was attached to that category, right? So you can see here at the bottom as well, another example. This is in the card game, actually, accessories. This happened even to us. That's how we found out what was going on. So what do you want to do in this case? Well, this is one of the solutions, obviously. You want to go into your Seller Central account, and under the reports, inventory reports, you can download the category listing report, okay? Once you click on the category listing report, you will see an option to download this report once it's ready, which looks like this, okay? This is just a regular flat file that you can download, which is typically used to re-upload your data using the correct item type keyword, the product type. And under the data definition, you see what type of data you're going to upload. Now, there is one important thing that most of us don't know or haven't learned before, which is the browse tree guide. Okay, that's one thing that is important to understand. If you don't know what the browse tree guide is, you can easily go to Seller Assistant, type in Browse Tree Guide, like I did here, and it will guide you through the link or where to find the location, where to find this table. But at the bottom here, you can also see, so you take a screenshot if you're watching this live, you can see also the URL. But once you go to the Browse Tree Guide, guys, you will see an option here under the Browse Tree Guide to download the CSV file that belongs to your category. So let's say you're selling in the baby niche, right? You want to download this Browse Tree Guide, and then you'll get a file that contains all the categories in or the subcategories or the node IDs in this main category, in this parent category. So you will see all the different baby products, activity entertainment, activity center. Here you have clothing, bottoms, leggings, like everything that is basically related to the beauty category, to the baby category. Now, it's very important that you guys here obviously select the right node, right? The right category for your products. So what you want to do in this case, I selected the node ID 8457, blah, blah, blah. And the leaf node, in this case, you can see, is canopies and covers. The item type keyword is car seats, canopies, and covers. If you have followed some people that explain how to rank on Rufus, how to optimize for Cosmo, a lot of it has to do with the attributes that we add to your listings. The reason why sometimes we don't show up is because we're missing some critical attributes that are important for your product, for your ASIN, in order to be associated to the right category. Okay, and so when sometimes you try to rank for certain keywords or certain, right now it's all about intent, right? So some search queries that you don't rank for is most likely because you're missing some attributes that are very important also for Rufus. So what you want to do is click on refinements once you have this this Excel file, and under the refinements, you want to look at the attribute column. Okay, this column here. When you let's say in this case where we selected the the bed canopies, when you over the attribute, Amazon will tell you exactly which attribute they expect from you to submit. If you enter an attribute that is not in this list, and you can see it here, when you click on the accepted values, Amazon will give you exactly the options that are currently accepted. So when we go and do this from Seller Central without understanding the Browse Tree Guide, we come up with attributes that might not be accepted by Amazon. And for that reason, you're basically feeding, it's like filling blanks, right? You're not doing anything good for your listing. But if you do it this way and you add actually the attributes that Amazon accepts for the specific node ID, and in this case, we'll see that for the bed canopies, there are different type of refinements, color, the hanging method, the gender, the material, and for each one of them, there are also attributes. For each one of the attributes, there is an accepted value. So if you follow this and you re-upload your flat file the way we downloaded it, you'll notice most of the time that your categorization or your rankings improve because you fixed some issues in the back end. Now, I'm going to share a quick hack with you. And this is one of the things, together with the next one, that I haven't really ever shared in public, because this stuff is powerful and it will help you actually fix some of the back-end issues that you sometimes struggle with fixing. So what I'm going to share is a way for you to get a flat file. You guys know over the past few months, the flat files have been updated by Amazon. They're no longer the same. And sometimes what happens is that you need to fix an attribute that you used a year or so, 2 years ago, is an older listing. For that reason, your parent-child relationships are all over the place, or they've been split. This is how you fix that issue, okay? So what you want to do is go to your Seller Central account and click on the Create a Variation, okay? Once you go to this page here, so it's like when you're adding basically a new product to your Seller Central account, you want to paste here the ASIN that you're having issues with. And then you want to click on Search. when you click on search, Amazon is going to show you the different, basically the variations or the parent-child relationship, the variation family that belongs to this ASIN that you're searching for. And what you want to do in this case is click on generate a template, and Amazon is going to generate the new template for you, which you can download here at the bottom. This is the original template, guys, that was used when you first created your product, when you first created your listing. This is extremely powerful. For those of you that understand the power of thread files, this is extremely powerful because it allows you to see what you did 5 years ago, 6 years ago, what that thread file looked like 5, 6 years ago, and basically fix whatever is wrong today with your listing. If you try and download the new thread file, the way that Amazon guides you through Seller Central, you're going to get the most updated one. This is the only way that you can still get the old thread files with the old columns. So if someone some time ago has injected some sort of attributes in your backend, like some adult flags or things like that, that have caused your rankings to drop, which is, that happens quite often. This is the only way to figure out what happened, when the drop occurred, so that you can go back and fix it. And Amazon still accepts these templates when you go back and re-upload them. So very powerful. You can see here. And if you noticed, I'm not going to talk too much about this because it can come across as a gray strategy. But in this case, you can also use these to kind of spy on your competitors. I'm going to leave it at that, but you can see here what I was able to see is that this specific product, Anecdote, actually is in the herbal supplement. I can see the product type and a few other things. It doesn't show me, unless it's your product, it doesn't show me everything that they have in the back end, but you can see a few things. Now, like many used to say, how cool is that? Like, I think this is very powerful if you know how to use it. And with that said, with kind of this foundation, I'm going to go into the next strategy, which is how to uncover your competitors and basically how they launched products with like 100 reviews. It kind of uses a similar tool, a similar technique, but we go a little bit more in depth. So let's look at what's happening with this product. First of all, if you want to find products that have recently sold or recently launched on Amazon, you can use Helium 10, for example. Just apply a filter. Products that have launched less than a month ago and they have like 100, 200 reviews with one parent, right? So it's one ASIN. They aren't combining a bunch of reviews. That gives you a quick insight into who's doing this. Typically it's like Chinese sellers, then they know how to do this stuff. But in this case here, I found this product basically had 460 reviews and was launched less than 30 days ago. You can see actually in US it was launched, in fact, 8 days ago. And guys, I took this screenshot yesterday. So this is the most recent stuff you can ever watch in 2026. And so I was very curious to understand what these guys were doing. The next one is this kind of like bone conduction headphones. And in this case here, the guy also has 165 reviews, launched 25 days ago. So it really caught my curiosity. I'm like, how are these guys launching products with so many reviews? And there are a few different ways of doing this that I'm aware of. One of them, which is not in the slides, is that they use these Russian Chinese groups that basically attach a bunch of reviews to your ASIN. It doesn't last too long. These reviews probably last 20, 30 days, but it's enough to get a good, a good start. And the problem with that stuff is that it's very risky. You can get suspended. So I don't obviously suggest doing it. But let's see how these guys are doing it. Again, we're going to go back here. This tool is so powerful. I don't think Amazon is going to change the way this works. And it gives you insights into basically like what competitors are doing. So in this case here, I took the ASIN of those headphones, the bone conduction headphones that I showed you earlier, and I put that ASIN here. And you guys can see how many variations they have combined in order to have these 200 reviews. The last one is the only ASIN that we saw, right? That was the async that we came across. But all these other variations are what is giving this Chinese seller basically all these combined reviews. So what most likely they did here is that they're not blind reviews. So I don't think they submitted 50 different variations to bind. But what most likely they did is either a bunch of FBMs or FBM sales. There are a lot of groups, guys. I came across not too long ago a Facebook group, and every day they have hundreds of products that are giving away 4 or 5-star reviews. So that stuff, unfortunately, is still happening. I've tried to report it. Nobody cares anymore. But that's most of the time how they're doing it. And so you can see here also the async that I searched. This stuff is working well. Now, what I did here in this case, quick search on Google. I copied the async that combined all these reviews. And I went on Google and searched basically where is this async? Like, what are they getting these reviews from? And what I realized in this case is that most of the reviews for this product, for example, there was a different one that you saw at the very beginning, they're coming from India. So they had 414 reviews coming from India, and the rest, because in total they had 480, I believe. The other 60, they only have 60 in US, so everything else was coming from India. But now you can see this product is not even available, and it's been unavailable in India for a long time. So what they did, because most likely in India they have some groups, they can do this. What we used to do on Amazon probably 10 years ago. They launched this product in India around November, I think it was December last year, and then less than 30 days ago they launched it in US with about 500 reviews. So very creative, let's call it creative. But I like to share this stuff with you because this is still happening. And so when you go into new niches, when you try to launch new products, you need to be aware of what's going on today. So let's go now to strategy number 3. This is a tool that I developed myself for just my own brand. I wanted to quickly generate some variations of my product images. So it's basically how to quickly brainstorm these new images and create new ones. So in this example here, you can create, let's say you sell this product on the left, is a MacBook Pro, and you want to create this visual 3D dissected version of the product. You can also have, in this case here, it's a milk frother or let's call it a team. It's got multiple use cases. I use it as a milk frother, actually. If you guys don't know, it makes an amazing cappuccino. Give it a try. And on the right-hand side, what I did here, I just uploaded the picture on the left, and then it created this beautiful image on the right, full of coffee, and you can see also the steam on the glass walls. So what you want to do is this. You want to scan this QR code, and this is going to send you to my Gemini Gem, which is, if you guys are not familiar with Gemini Gems, they're like custom GPTs for in ChatGPT. And then what you're going to land on this page. What you want to do here, I'm going to play this video. You want to upload, in this case, I'm just taking one of the image of the products that I showed earlier. You want to upload this image. Now, what the Gem is doing is analyzing the images and applying my prompt. And the prompt behind it is basically instructing it to make it more visual, make it more... the goal of this is to increase the click-through rate. Okay? So you can see what happened here. It just added a little bit more visuals to the image. And you can create this over and over and over again to see which one looks best based on what your desired, outcome is. And A/B test it on your Amazon listings. So hopefully that was helpful and useful. I have another one. It's called the Hero Shot Director. Instead of outputting an image like you saw in this example, it actually gives you a prompt. And then you can use the prompt and give it back to Gemini to create an image. So if you guys are interested in that, follow up. If you're part of it, Elite, just let me know next time we meet, and then I'll give you the other QR code as well. Strategy number 4, enable your website to be indexed by LLMs with this automated GPT. You guys know already, when it comes to key strategies for LLMs, You have to do a bunch of stuff. People are talking about Reddit, like that's what you do after. You have to have a good structure. You have to create content in a way that kind of answers some questions. But what we're going to work on now, or what I'm going to show you, is how to optimize your site with the schema markup language and make sure that it's crawlable. So that your websites, let's say you sell on Amazon, you should have a website too. If you're Shopify, most likely is already optimized. But what we want to make sure is that our websites are indexable, so that if LLMs like Perplexity, Claude, Gemini, ChatGPT, they go and check your website, they can read it, they can find the information, and they can eventually feed it back to their LLMs when it comes to answering some questions that people ask. Okay, so what this Gemini, this is actually a ChatGPT custom GPT is going to generate, are these files. You can see here, it generates a robots.txt file, the sitemap, LLMs. You don't have to worry, honestly, how this stuff works, because I simplified it all for you. If you want to take a look at how this works, you can go to this website here, take a photo. Sorry, I didn't put a QR code on this slide. And you can see what this looks like. So the way we're going to now test it, if you scan this QR code, this custom GPT, and what you want to do is this. So in this case here, I'm going to copy this async. Again, I'm keeping this consistent for the same products so that it kind of makes sense when we look at all these strategies. So we're going to copy this async, and we're going to paste it in the custom GPT that I created. Okay. And what this is doing right now is basically analyzing the async. It's saying, okay, I found the product. It's pretty accurate. It looks up on Amazon, looks up on Google, and then he's asking for the domain name. So I gave it example.com, but if you have a domain name, obviously you want to use the real one. And now this took about 4 minutes. So I just played it at 8x, I believe. So he's just doing a bunch of analysis. And look at it, guys. This is awesome. It's basically like giving us all the information of this product, and they're starting to generate all the files that we need to be to upload on our server, on our website, where we host our website, so that we can be indexed. Okay, indexed and crawls. And you can see here is generating the schema, is generating the FAQ JSON file. This is very important. It's coming up with questions related to the product, so that if someone asks how many gummies are in the pack, what are the ingredients in this product, what benefits does the product claim to support, it already generated the questions so that ChatGPT can answer these questions. Now, this is a really brief way and simple way of doing it. You want, the more content you create on your website, press releases, the better, obviously, your, the more mentions you can get inside those LLMs. But you need to have these. These are the basic looks. It even generated the robots file, allowing all these different user agents, such as Anthropic, Perplexity bot, Apple bot, to crawl your domain. And finally, it's giving you also some upload instructions. So you're saying, hey, now you take all these files, upload it to your server, and after try to publish a couple of mentions, like on Reddit, X, Lemonade, YouTube. We found that these sources right now are working extremely well, especially Reddit. There's a lot to say about Reddit. Is a little bit slower. That's because Google blocked the APIs, the return results, or limited the number of results. But if you do post on these websites, you're pretty much guaranteed to be discovered and featured. Now, here's what you want to do next. Once the bundle has been generated, you copy, upload it to your server, and you're done. Okay? Now, strategy number 5. How you want to show up in Google AI overviews. So very related to what we just talked about, but this time we're going to discover how to be featured on the AI overview, which is one of the most powerful things you can do for your brand and for your products. Because today, nobody clicks again anymore on the search results. Everyone goes to, reads the AI overview, and eventually just goes to the website or clicks on one of those results. So being featured here is extremely powerful. Now, I brought up this example because it's not just a random product. This guy is an SEO guy. He's one of the most famous SEO gurus, I will say, in the world. His name is Craig Campbell. And he won last year in Dubai at an award as a best speaker. So what he did, he created a press release. He published a press release on a couple of different when you publish a press release, you don't know who picks it up, but it was picked up by Yahoo Finance and a couple of other ones. But what I want to show you is this. Like, look, if you right now Google from your browser best SEO speaker 2025, e-ranks is mentioned number one right here. You could do the same for your brands, for your product, for whatever service you're selling. You can literally get indexed within 7 to 14 days. How did he do it? He was featured in Yahoo Finance with this press release. And the press release is very simple. It looks like this. Now, keyword optimization is important here. You want to make sure that you write the press release in a way so that you can rank for the keywords you're going after. In this case, he used best SEO speaker. 2025 was before, but he achieved, I guess, the goal that he meant to achieve with regards to being featured. Now, another example, and by the way, Globe Newswire is the kind of network that they used. And if you guys need help with this stuff, I do have access to PR publications, so please feel free to reach out after if you want to do press releases. But I want to show another example in this case here for a product. This was actually shared in the Market Masters by Kevin King last, it was November, I believe. And they're still ranking well today, but it was picked up by a few different publications. One was Yahoo News, Yahoo Finance, sorry, and the other one was Global Toys News. This one is still ranking pretty well on Google right now. But you can see when I search for this specific product, Best Enchanted Fairy Garden Door Kit, it's a product I didn't even know it existed. They rank number one. Okay. So very, very powerful. This will also get you featured on other LLMs because you guys know Google is the biggest source of information anyway, and everyone scrapes it. So it will help you rank in other places as well. Let's move on to strategy number 6. Now, let's say we're launching a new product. We need some inspirations for, product creatives, listing images. We just don't know, yes, doing competitive analysis is great, but what if your competitors have listings that suck, that you don't like? We're all familiar with Nano Banana, okay, but before we go to Nano Banana to create images, where do we get this inspiration from? So that's what I put together, something that helps you kind of find products like these ones. These are great, right? Great visuals. They look awesome. They pop on the screen. Even the color scheme looks beautiful. And so what I wanted to share with you is simply like where you can find this info. One website here is called Creative OS. Creative OS gives you a bunch of different things. For example, you can see this is a preview. You can find product listings. You can find emails that typically company sells. You can find lenders. So if you're looking for like landing pages to drive traffic to, on Creative OS, you'll find tons of graphic designs that you can be inspired from. The other one is this one here is called Magic Brief. I've shared Magic Brief in our elite training. I believe it was 2 months ago for different reasons. It's like how to clone commercials using AI and NA10. So if you're interested in that stuff, guys, we talk a lot about how to build your own engines to create AI UGC. Basically, in this case, we were cloning commercials, but you can also use it as inspirations, basically, to see what competitors are advertising or promoting. And the last one, which is, I think, one of the biggest kind of like sources of great designers as well as graphics, is Behance. So if you haven't heard of Behance before, like, please go take a look at it. You find tons of information here. And the good thing is that you can also find the info of the designers, so you can get in touch directly through LinkedIn or email. Now, what I'm going to talk next is actually how you can take this to the next level. So now you have let's say your product image, which you can take a photo with your iPhone. And we're actually doing this today as part of our Scale Stories product launch with Natalie. We're using like AI to create some of the visuals, get inspirations from some of this stuff that looks extremely well, but obviously replacing the product with ours. And I'm going to show you how to do this with GenSpark. GenSpark, if you haven't heard of it, is one of the best tools right now, AI tools that allows you to pretty much automate anything you want, really. Like they have so many different features. But in this case, we use it to automatically generate 40, 50, 60 different product listing images for our Amazon listing fully automatically. You can see here what I did. This was actually one of the speakers at one of the elite trainings. His name is Jay. They were showing us this. So here's one of the things that I want to give him credit for. And he shared the prompt with us, which I will share with you in a second, that allows us to give 2-3 different images and output 40, 50 different images generated with Nano Banana. So you can see in this case what it did. These are all AI generated, guys. There is no human intervention at all. Beautiful, beautiful images of this demo roller. Starting with the first one on top, it created a bunch of them. So if you want to attempt this yourself, go ahead and download this Amazon Super Prompt. You'll get all the instructions on the landing page on how to pretty much do this yourself. You copy the prompt, you paste it in GenSpark, you upload your Amazon product photos, and you'll see GenSpark generating 30, 40 different images for you. Beautifully done, ready to be tested. Now, strategy number 7. How you can dominate Reddit for AEO and GEO. For those of you that don't know this, AEO stands for Answer Engine Optimization. GEO is Generative Engine Optimization. I like more the term GEO. I don't like AEO because, doing GEO, and for those of you that have never done SEO before, you need to understand one thing. Like people that today are selling these AEO, GEO services, without having ever done SEO before, I don't think they fully understand. That's where I think the name AEO comes from, because they thought just by writing questions and answering questions, you can be ranked on ChatGPT or featured on ChatGPT. It doesn't necessarily work that way. That's why I call it GEO, Generative Engine Optimization, because you need to do a lot more. You want to become the authority, the trusted source. It's not just about creating a bunch of content. Because if you think about it, these LLMs, an example, ChatGPT, was indexed a bunch of content from the web. You remember, like the last time they updated it was 24, 25. And so it uses all this content to generate content, right? Or to give you answers. Now, if you are a content writer and you use, ChatGPT to write content, you're basically using content there's already old. And you just know that in the SEO space, or, Google likes, is fresh content. Is content that speaks facts, that is actual, that is basically it's like news. And so if you go and use ChatGPT to write content, hoping to rank on Google, it might work today because the engines are not, or maybe Google has not updated everything yet, and this sounds like a human read it. But eventually, once everything gets refreshed or indexed, you're probably going to be de-indexed because that content is going to be seen as fake or not, original. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents. Let's move on the strategy. So Reddit, you can see on this chart here, is the number 1 source that helps you rank on LLMs. There are a bunch of services out there that automate the process. How do they do it? They create, like in this example here, they create a post, and then they have a bunch of different accounts, fully automated, that answer to that post, that reply to that post, with a link to a product. So what this does, when Google, Perplexity, all these engines will find this post, will basically see the question, and then they see the software that was recommended, the name of the software. So when someone asks how good is Zo Creator, then maybe Gemini is going to say, or ChatGPT, is good, but perhaps you want to try software.io instead. So this is how right now a lot of people are manipulating LLMs and being featured in LLMs. If you guys are interested in ranking LLMs, I found this company. It's called Trackings.ai. I spoke to the guy. They have a very cool solution. So they even gave me a coupon code, not affiliated, not making money from this stuff. But if you use this coupon code, they give you 30% off. But they automate the process of creating all this content on Reddit, eventually like getting featured on these LLMs. Now, what if you want, once you start working on this, what if you want to find all the related subreddits to your niche, and so that you can dominate at scale? So what I did, I put together this tool. Actually, you can see is very visual. So what you do here is, I'll share a QR code in a second. What you do is come here, type in beauty or supplements or whatever your niche is, or baby, and it's going to create this mind map of all the different Reddits. And then when you click on one, it's going to fetch all the related ones, so that you know how to basically go add and post and reply everywhere, in those subreddits that are related to your niche, so you can dominate it much faster than your competitors. So let me show you how it works. So once you have all these subreddits, next thing you do is check them out, see how many comments there are, and then most of the time it works well where there aren't too many comments. Or on the other side, like if it's very popular, and then you can add a comment there and try to get some upvotes so that your comment becomes the number one, and so you can rank on Google with this stuff too. So hopefully this one was helpful as well. I think I got 2 videos. Here is the QR code that you can scan, and feel free to use the tool. It's free. I have a few tools that I build here and there. So if you keep checking this will go to leosgovia.com/tools. So if you keep checking that page here and there, you probably find something new that I created for you. Now, strategy number 8. Discover Shopify's top selling store. So most of the time when we do pro research, we all go through either 10 or Alibaba and obviously Amazon itself. But what if you want to be inspired by who's selling top on Shopify? Who's the best seller on, these other platforms? So the number one, obviously, source of info is SimilarWeb. SimilarWeb, I like it because they have so much data. It's not free, it's not cheap, but what I'm going to show you is some sort of a hack. So some domains that sell on Shopify, they didn't add the CNAME. The CNAME is basically a domain that allows you to hide or mask the checkout.shopify.com checkout page. So what they do, you land on, let's say, Sephora.com, you go through the shopping cart, and then at the end, once you have to buy the product or enter the credit card info, the domain is checkout.shopify.com. If you type that into SimilarWeb, checkout.shopify.com, you actually see all the top domains that are driving traffic. So the top sources that are driving traffic to Shopify. Okay. So in this case here, you can see some of the stores that are basically killing it right now. And for me, if in January you were the number one sending traffic to checkout.shopify.com, you made millions, guaranteed. So you go after these websites and see what are they selling, where are they getting traffic from, right? So you can replicate the same thing. You can see here I say some Bylish.store, Nuvea Gummies. So I looked at some of them. In this case here was this Nuvea Gummies. And guess what? They're actually sold out on the website. So I wasn't able to find a lot of info. This company seems to have launched this product in January, and they sold out. And right now they stopped their ads. I saw some ads on Facebook. They stopped their ads. They stopped everything. Probably like sold all their inventory. But it was very interesting, a very interesting discovery. Another thing you can do is actually look at SEMrush. SEMrush is a powerful source of info. You can do the same thing here. You can type in checkout.shopify.com, and then you'll see also on Shopify the top sources. In this case, I found Riversol.com, 32degrees.com. There are a few of them, and you can see also the difference month over month, like 445% for Riversol. This is, I think it was a clothing company. So very, very interesting way to find obviously like products, websites. One thing I also found by looking at checkout.stripe.com. You guys know Stripe is mainly used by software companies, not necessarily like e-commerce related, but mainly on the service side of things. And when you do checkout.stripe.com, you'll find Manus, you'll find ChatGPT, you'll find all of these like AI engines. And I even found some of them that I never heard before that apparently are like killing it. So a very good way to discover new things, new up and coming projects, new up and coming websites, products. So hopefully this was an insight that you didn't know before. Strategy number 9. Exploring competitors. This is one of my favorite things to do, exploring competitors outside traffic funnels, right? So sometimes we see a competitor like not ranking well on Amazon, but they're getting tons of sales. Like we wonder where they're getting these sales from, right? So one of the things here is obviously the Meta ad library. Guys, a lot of Amazon sellers drive traffic from Meta to a landing page to Amazon. Okay, there are a few of them that are doing it in a simple way. Some of them I think I like them. They're a little bit smarter. They're creating landing pages that have they're very like built to word map that traffic. Because when you buy traffic from Google, it's kind of cold, right? Like someone clicks on the link. If you send them straight to Amazon, most of the time it's not going to work. But if you send it to a landing page where you kind of warm them up, you explain what your product is, why it's better than others, you have a comparison table, and then they click on buy, you're pretty much guaranteed, first of all, to pay very low clicks, like 15, 20 cents top on Google, instead of 50, 60 if you go straight to Amazon. And number 2, you are going to get a much higher conversion rate. Because if I already clicked on buy now or go buy on Amazon, I don't care about all the ads. I don't care about everything else that is there. I already know this is the product I want. So I'm going to show you one example of how they do it. I found this brand that was selling these magnesium capsules. And I found it by typing in Amazon magnesium. So I know they were basically promoting an Amazon product. So when I clicked on it, I found this, it's basically an advertorial. An advertorial is a landing page that looks like, in this case, Women's Health, is a fake Women's Health website that is basically it's news. So he's saying how at the time, I remember, was Kim Kardashian's weight loss capsules, like how Kim Kardashian lost 50 pounds or whatever with these capsules. And then all of a sudden you see these products taking off on Amazon. And people search for like Kim Kardashian weight loss pills, right? So this is the way that the landing page looks like, with a bunch of different info. And then you get some like probably AI or maybe fake UGC content. And when you click on buy on Amazon, it will go to Amazon. So there is nothing special about this, except that the landing page is fake. Now, it's not compliant. If Women's Health find out, they can sue you probably because you're using their brand name on a website that is not theirs. But you can see, look at this launch. Like they've been selling for a long time, but selling extremely well. I don't know if I was able to see also the number of sales that they were getting. 10,000 units bought in the past month, right? So it's not a product that is doing okay. These guys are driving tons of traffic from Meta and selling 10,000 units a month with this product. Now, another example is this one here. You guys have probably come across this brand. I know also who sells this brand. I don't think you care that I'm sharing it here because he's doing an amazing job at creating funnels. So what I did, I typed his brand name on Facebook, on Meta, the Meta ad library, found a couple of creatives. One of them is no longer active. One of them is still active. And you can see, guys, it started running in March 2024. This is not something that people have been doing for the past 12 months or 6 months. 2024, this ad is still making money. Okay, so when I click on it, you can see this is one of them. Super simple. There's nothing here. This is probably just optimized for mobile. And that's probably where he sends just mobile traffic to. And it goes to his landing page. Again, if you look at it, 10,000 units sold, very successful product. Okay. So extremely effective. Again, if you click on a Meta ad and you go to the landing page and you click on buy on Amazon, you're most likely are going to convert. If you go straight to Amazon, I see at least a 50% drop. So this is the reason why you have an interstitial page. Now, this other one is for a different product. You can see here is probably trying even to understand what the conversion rate is by using promo codes. So if you copy the promo code and you enter it in the checkout on Amazon, it's probably counting the conversion rate that way. But you can see is a little bit different. Kind of like nicer looking. This all works. You can click on week 2, week 3, and so on, and image didn't change, but you can see basically what the landing page is, and same type of flow. Buy on Amazon, sends you to Amazon. So I know a lot of supplement sellers doing this. I don't see a lot of sellers outside of the niche. This is beauty, but we're talking about supplements and beauty. These are maybe the most sophisticated sellers that are currently implementing these strategies.
Our goal here with a lot of this stuff is to get you on your way, guys, to be making crazy amounts of profit on your business thanks to these strategies. Now, a lot of this stuff used to be part of like this program we used to have called Helium 10 Elite. You guys, there's a Helium 10 Elite members. Before I worked at Helium 10, I joined. It used to be called the Illuminati Mastermind. Everybody remember back then how much it cost? The Illuminati Mastermind is where we talked about strategies like this behind closed walls, where it wasn't open. And if you guys remember, it used to cost $3.99 a month just by itself, without even Helium 10. Like Helium 10 was separate, and then we had the Illuminati Mastermind. All right, now we still have the Elite program. It's different now. It's $99 a month. It's added to the Diamond plan, and you get one-on-one calls with me and Carrie and private Facebook groups, and you get free, first access to test Helium 10 products. We still have that, guys. All right, but remember this training, all of this stuff came from what our program used to be that cost $3.99 a month by itself without even the rest of Helium 10. But now, guys, you're going to get a lot of what used to cost $3.99 free with the Diamond plan. All right, so the Diamond plan with Helium 10 is all about education now. You've got monthly trainings with Leo and Expert Gets. All of these strategies he gave today, these have all been part of the last couple of months of strategies that he gives to the Diamond and Elite members once a month on his monthly call. This is taken directly from there. This is the level of stuff you guys get every single month with the Diamond plan. All right, you also get to hop on a call with Leo once a month, and myself and Carrie and Shivali, and ask us live questions, anything you possibly want. One of the strategies he might talk about later, which is going to blow your mind, it's not even a strategy, it's something you have to be aware of, that actually came from one of these Zoom roundtables. We have in-person workshops near our office and on the road too, and we also have weekly trainings about PPC, TikTok Shop, all right? This is all part of the Diamond plan, and that's separate from what we already have with the Diamond plan on the tool side. Helium 10's primarily a tool company. We also have education. You've got AI-powered advertising. You've got the only historical reverse ASIN search in Amazon here in the United States. Nobody has this as an option where I can go in and say, hey, show me every keyword that this product was showing for in July of 2024. Can you do that with anything? Can you do that with Seller Central? Can you do that on, with another tool you're using? No, only with Helium 10. We've got a listing builder with AI. We have a TikTok listing converter. You're not selling on TikTok yet. You've got 50 Amazon products. Within seconds, you'll have all of those Amazon products translated with AI to a TikTok listing. All your images migrated. Boom goes the dynamite. You've got that with the Diamond plan. You've got 5 years of history of Amazon brand analytics data. You're not going to get that anywhere else. 2 years of history instantly for all your search query performance data. We've got hourly keyword tracking, where you can turn on Keyword Tracker Boost. That's only available on the Diamond plan. And there's 24 other unique functions. But since this is a special webinar, we had to do something special. We haven't done something like this in 2 years. I wanted to throw in some bonuses. So for anybody who signs up for this Diamond plan today, or you upgrade from a free, you upgrade from a platinum, or you just come in off the street and you're like, hey, I want to go Diamond right now. First bonus is you get a one-on-one call with me. All right, we can talk about anything you want. All right, I will help you with your business. People try to throw money at me all the time to do this. I don't have the time to do that because, Helium 10 is my day job. But here, I'll be on the clock on Helium 10, and I'll have a one-on-one call with you, normally reserved only for Elite members. Bonus 2, speaking of Elite, we're going to give you 2 months of Helium 10 Elite access. All right, that's $99 a month. That's a completely separate thing where you can have one-on-one calls with our team. You can get on our office hours. We've got private communities and even extra training. We'll give you 2 months free of that. Next bonus, I'm going to connect you with my personal Chinese sourcing agent. All right, this is my boots on the ground employee in China who sources all of my products that I sell on Amazon for myself and other people as well. She handles the inspections, she handles the shipping, every aspect of it, gets better shipping prices and better product prices than even I can get. All right, I'm going to connect you with the exact person who gets all of my products. These bonuses are for anybody who upgrades. Last bonus, my latest Amazon product launch guide. You guys know that's my specialty. I call it the Maldives honeymoon launch method. This is something I literally launched a product last week, got to page 1 on all my main keywords in 3 days. How did I do that? I have a full guide that we will send you. Now, question is how much? All right. So remember, 7 years ago, or 8 years ago, before I started Helium 10, the diamond plan was $199, and then you had to pay $399 for the elite. So my computer like mine tells me that that's like $600. All right. That's not what the price is. Everything now is only $359 a month. All right, $359 is the new diamond plan, which is like $11 a day. Guys, that's like one Carl's Jr. extra value meal less a day. Some of you big people like myself who eat that every day, I'm trying to do better now, guys. You just cut that off and you're going to actually have health benefits and you can pay for your Helium 10 diamond plan, all right? But we can do better than that, all right? This is a special webinar. I told you guys, all right? Write down this code. Take a screenshot of this code. 30% off of that, SSP30. All right, SSP30. So instead of $359 a month, it's $251 a month, guys, only. All right, up to 6 months. That doesn't mean you're locked in for 6 months. Oh my God, I have to commit and I have to pay all this money. No, like you can sign up for 1 month and you're like, you know what? I'm tired of Leo and Bradley. I don't want to, hear these trainings anymore. Just cancel. No problem. All right. Then you won't be charged anymore after that. All right. $251 a month for up to 6 months of the diamond plan. But for those who are like, you know what? I need this level of info. Like guys, what you saw today, this is literally what Leo does every single month. 10 new strategies you would get every single month. This level. That's how crazy it is. If you're like, I know I need this in my life. I saw Daniel Gray post in the comments, hey, this is like his next 2-month strategy for his company. We can do even better than that. So if you're like, hey, you know what? I want to commit to a year of diamond. That's $4,300, $359 a month, right? How about we take off $2,000 off of that, all right? So if you can just do it the monthly. That code absolutely works. This is not some bait and switch thing. You can use that SSP30. But if you're in it to win it, we'll take extra amount off $2,176, all right? So we'll take an extra 30% off that annual plan. Instead of $4,300, which is literally what you pay if you sign up right now, month by month, that's only $181 a month. That's even less than Diamond was 7 years ago when I started, all right? $585 a day, guys, $181 a month for what used to cost $600 a month, all right? So if you want to sign up for either of these, there's 2 ways you can do it. I'm going to have a QR code next, h10.me/diamond training to sign up for either of these. You can choose the monthly one or you can choose that annual plan, right? If you guys want to see the QR code here, this one should work, or just go to h10.me/diamond training. And then if you want to get the monthly plan, it's SSP30. If you want to get that annual plan, it's SSP35. All right, so now let's go to the bonus tips. I'm going to bring Leo back up here.
The 10 is how to control the order of the variations on your listing. So this one was actually courtesy of John Derkins. He's a very smart guy. Like I admire a lot, and he basically shared this optimization strategy. Let's say you have this this product, but your variations are not ranking in the order that you like maybe to rank them for. There is a very quick trick that you can apply in the back end, which is very simple. Just add a number to the front of the variant name that you want to appear first. So if it's the yellow or the white, let's say you have more inventory or that's the one you want to push first, that's it. You can just go ahead and put the numbers, and all of a sudden the order of the variations will change. All right, so guys, this is something that we discovered live during one of the roundtables, like basically someone, and just, read this. It's important that you understand this is basically like just for educational purpose. I don't want to endorse any of this stuff. It's one of the probably shadiest black hat strategies I've seen. But what happened is that the seller during a call mentioned to us that this buy box was suppressed on several products. Now I had to blur his brand from everywhere. You guys can see what is kind of selling here, but we didn't feel comfortable sharing his brand. But what we noticed basically is that after a Google search, I saw some domains that were not real. Like I saw, for example, some stuff here I also blurred, were very like from Russia, from Ukraine, from like all over the place, but those .info, .rs, whatever. And so what happened here when we clicked on these websites, it sent us to domains like this one, which if you see, I go through the pages here, it literally looks like Home Depot, right? So they had cloned the Home Depot HTML. And then what happened when I went back to Google and I clicked again on the same search result, this time they redirected me to a completely different website. So that website no longer worked. So then I went back to Google and I clicked on a different domain. And this time they sent me to this website, which wasn't Walmart. You probably think, because right here, there's a Walmart logo. But this one was a clone of Walmart. And, look at the page as well. At the bottom, they have different results. I went back to Google and I clicked again on the same search result. This time, the page didn't exist anymore. So I knew what they were doing because I have a SEO background. And I knew this is basically like a very sophisticated attack that is called cloaking. It's basically when someone shows Google bots a specific page, but then to humans, completely different page. And so anyway, I wanted to make sure that you guys understand that there is this manipulation happening. If you lose the buy box, maybe you can reach out to us. We can help you understand that or identify what's going on, if it's the same thing. The guy that is behind this brand actually filed a lawsuit. He's now open an FBI investigation. So there's a lot going on. Amazon is aware of it. Thankfully, most of his buy box for his listings have come back. So he's very active. He's been proactive actually in making sure that this stuff, actually most of it has been de-indexed from Google. So I was happy to see that. I still found a couple of them yesterday, which I notified them about. But guys, use this knowledge to defend your brand, right? Do not exploit others, because it's one of the things I've seen. And obviously the way they did it is by putting the price very low, like $5, $6, $7 compared to his $20 price on Amazon.
And that's why his buy box goes away.
Buy box got suppressed, right? So if you wonder how did they do it, that's basically the strategies. And Amazon, when looking at these pages, with the source code, there is Walmart, source code, there is Target, or there is Home Depot, it doesn't see necessarily that the domain is different. And they just see another marketplace selling it for less, and they suppress your buy box. That's all for today, guys.
Okay. Thank you, Leo, for everything. Thanks, everybody else. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.